Hey there! Welcome to my home. My name is Sara, and I am a wild strawberry plant. Wild strawberries are native plants in this area. That means that I have naturally occurred in this region for many, many years. Millions, some say. I co-evolved with other native species and formed countless special relationships with them. This is what ecosystems are made of. Relationships that have formed over time. Plants are the first step in food webs. Animals and insects can't make their own food, and so many of them eat us. Some of them help us reproduce by spreading our pollen and our seeds. There are numerous non-native plants in our landscapes, and natural spaces too. These are plants that arrived here in the recent past and have not had time to co-evolve with other organisms or form relationships with the native species of the area. They live in a variety of places, like gardens, houses, ponds, waterways, forests, and even roadsides. My neighbor Gus here is Goutweed, which is a whole other level of non-native. Goutweed is an invasive species. It is one of many species in our area that are non-native and have a negative impact on the natural landscape.
Hey, it's not our fault that we are far from home.
I know it's not your fault, but you invade our spaces and create difficult growing conditions for us. Sometimes it gets so bad that we can no longer survive. Here in the native species Arboretum, there are many invasive species of plants. The gardeners spend a lot of time trying to manage them. They do not want any of you escaping the boundaries of the garden, because when you make your way into natural areas, you displace the native species and create changes in the ecosystem. These changes can have a devastating effect on the special relationships of an area. One example is that native caterpillars will not have any food to eat if their natural ecosystem is full of invasive species of plants that don't feed them. This means that they cannot survive to complete their metamorphosis into butterflies, moths, or skippers. No adults means no eggs, which means no next generation. Birds and bats will be forced to move out because they have no appropriate insects to feed themselves and their families. Also, butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds depend on our nectar, and bees depend on our pollen too. Remember that we really are the first step in feeding an ecosystem.
How did I get in the garden anyway?
Many invasive plants like you, Gus, are chosen by gardeners because you grow in conditions like dry shade that may seem harsh to many plants. The wonderful thing about native plant species is that we can thrive in these tough conditions. A bonus is that we are adapted to the local climate and soils. This means that we will require little to no maintenance or additional resources, such as fertilizers, once we are established.
What steps should folks take when they discover an invasive species?
The first step is to learn to identify invasive species. It is important to know the botanical names of plants in order to be certain of a plant's identity, so that you do not accidentally introduce an invasive species to your garden. For example, your neighbor offers you ground elder from their garden and you gladly add it to your garden. Oh no! You didn't know that it was actually Aegypodium podagraria, commonly called bishop's weed, ground elder, or goutweed. Now you have the tough job of trying to eliminate it. Here are some steps that everyone can take to help minimize the unintentional spread of these problematic plants. Never throw unwanted garden materials into the forests, trails, roadsides, waterways, or the compost. Instead, put the invasive species in black garbage bags and set them in the sun for 5 days. Then, you can dispose of them safely in your weekly garbage pickup. Like many other plants, some invasive species offer benefits for humans. They are often foraged for food, for their known medicinal qualities, and for other practical uses. Take care to learn the proper harvesting protocols so that you do not aid their spread.
I think I might know how else folks can help.
How's that?
By planting native plants and seeds, of course.
You got it. That is very important. It can be a little overwhelming trying to figure it all out. So the Ontario Invasive Plant Council has created a great guide called Northern Grow Me Instead. Here you will find listed common invasive species choices for Northern Ontario gardens and suggestions of native plants to grow instead.
Wow, that sounds like a great resource. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Sara shared some great information. We hope you can help keep the native species of the area's habitat safe for future generations. Bye for now.